Good evening everybody, hope everyone is doing good. Now this is the KTM 390 Adventure. This has been with me for a really long time now, and I have done a couple of thousand kilometers on this. And recently, a couple of days back, KTM announced that they are going to release a cheaper version of this, naming it as the 390 Adventure X, I believe. It's Adventure 390X or 390 Adventure X. Yeah, whatever it is. And that particular news has created a lot of buzz. It has created a lot of confusion as well among people, enthusiasts who were planning to buy this or who have bought a 390 Adventure very recently at a higher price point. So I thought I'll share my views as someone who has ridden this bike, someone who has lived with this bike for a long time. And by the end of this video, we'll try to understand that whatever the 390 Adventure X is missing, is it really missing? Would you regret not having it, or does it make sense to buy that motorcycle, right? So first, let's start with the electronics, because we all know that electronics is the main arsenal. How do you put it in fancy words? It's the main weapon in this bike's arsenal. It has electronics which are not even heard of even in two segments above. Bikes that cost almost thrice as this, they don't have all these features. So first is something that is not really needed at all is the quick shifter. I mean, let's face it, none of us is going to take this bike in racetrack, going to set the track on fire, trying to set lap times wherein you have to save every micro milliseconds. Quick shifter is absolutely unnecessary, which is still on this bike, and if you do not get it on the 390 Adventure X, which you eventually will not, you will not miss not having that thing, right? So that is gone. Next is the traction control. Now, I always argue with my friends who own the 390 Adventure that you don't need traction control. Traction control is the last thing that you would need on an adventure bike. And my main point of argument with them is, nice, I like this bike a lot, that when you are going through such conditions, that off-road stretch, broken roads and stuff, you don't need traction control. The first thing you will do is you will switch off the traction control, right? That's where I argue with them. But then if you look at the things properly, if you look at the minor details, when we go for off-roading or any adventure tour, we cover maximum distance by road, right? Let's say if I'm in Bangalore, if I'm going somewhere around Bangalore for an off-road adventure trip, I'll travel at least 100, 150 or maybe 200 kilometers by road. And in cases of India wherein it just rains all of a sudden without any prior warning, there are dogs on the road, or maybe you can have sand or dust on the road and all these. Under these conditions, traction control definitely helps. Yes, it does not help when you're off the road, but again, as I said, that we travel a lot of distance by road before we reach or before we start the off-road trail journey. So traction control is a good feature, considering that this bike makes a lot of power, and it is designed, the entire ergonomics of this bike is designed so that you can go long distances, you can tour. So it is a good to have thing. Now let's say that you are riding through ghats, right? You're going someplace where you have to ride through ghats, wherein you have to do quick directional changes, and in case if it's wet, if the road is wet, if it has rained, then yeah, the traction control system will definitely help. And next is the cornering ABS. That's a contradictory point. I don't understand the usage of cornering ABS, because we already have a dual channel ABS that is decently sensitive enough. We have the traction control, so having cornering ABS along with the TC, I don't think it is required, because the TC is already doing its job. The stock ABS is already doing its job. So we don't need cornering ABS, is what I think. You may agree to disagree with me. And then comes the suspension, right? So these big production houses, they are trying their level best. I've watched a couple of videos, and they are trying their level best to fool the crap out of people saying that it has decent suspension and the new Adventure X model is gonna come with stiffer suspension that is borrowed from the 250 and all that stuff. Let me tell you something, that unless you ride this bike and the 250 Adventure from which the Adventure X suspension is being borrowed back to back, you will literally not understand the difference in the stiffness. This suspension, the one that comes on this bike itself, is quite stiff. There is no denying it is quite stiff. And in India we do not get a WP suspension anyways, which is adjustable. So the difference in suspension, you will not feel it. Trust me, you will not feel it. And the next thing is this. Dun, 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 the color TFT Dash. Okay, a bike can be ridden even if it has a monochromatic display. You know, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be racist. Even if it is in black and white, it's fine. Would you miss? Yes, if you park your Adventure X model next to say 390 Adventure, the one this is, or a KTM RC 390, or let us say a Duke 390, then yes, you will miss not having this thing, because it's like, you know, you have a big 75-inch OLED QLED TV in your home and you are watching some old crappy black and white movie. It's like that. So yeah, it will feel bad when you look at it, but it's okay to live with, you know, considering the price difference. And now is the most important thing, that is the tires, right? So the Adventure X model, the cheaper one, is going to come with MRF tires. Now this one comes with Metzeler Torans, and tires make a world of difference. Trust me, it makes a lot of difference. The way the bike handles, or the way the bike's grip, the way, you know, you get confidence while going off the road, the way I am riding it right now. If it was MRF, I'm not saying MRF tires are bad, I'm just saying that they don't boost a lot of confidence. And not having traction control plus the MRF tires, that may not seem like a very good proposition. So tires is one thing which you will definitely miss on the 390 Adventure X model, right? And now let's sum it up. So the total difference of all these equipments not coming on the bike is nearly 60,000 rupees, 58,000 to be precise. Damn, I hate when this thing stalls. Just cannot sustain higher gears. So in Bangalore, on-road cost would be, I think it should be having a difference of at least 80,000 rupees or so, because the current model, that's this one, this is retailing at 4,45,000, and based on my information that I have received from one of the KTM dealerships, the Adventure X model will be retailing somewhere around 3,80,000, little less than 80, maybe 3,70,000 is what they're expecting, 70 plus minus 5,000 rupees. So for the difference of approximately 75,000, 80,000 rupees on road, are you going to miss these features? Not really, because that's the money. The difference in the amount is huge, right? Only if you are someone who likes to, you know, who just keeps craving for the monsoons to begin so that you can go literally adventuring into the wild. You can ride hard on twisties even when the roads are wet, or you want to ride in mud or slush and all those conditions. In that case, if that is your plan, if you are someone who belongs to that category, then you should buy the one with all the electronics, because apart from the electronics, it gets better tires as well, which will definitely boost your confidence because the tires will grip better. Otherwise, if you are only planning for regular rides, like regular off-road stretches here and there, and you don't want something fancy, you have always wanted to buy a 390 Adventure but you have always been shying away because of the high price, then in that case the Adventure X model is an exceptional value for money. That's exactly what KTM have been known for, right? Which has gradually faded away over a recent period of time because of multiple price hikes and stuff. So good things are that even with the 390 Adventure X, you are getting an ABS which is switchable. You're still getting the ride-by-wire. You're getting the same engine, same horsepower, same chassis. Everything is the same. Just that you will not have the rider modes, because that's been taken away, and you're not going to have traction control, you're not going to have the quick shifter and all of those electronics. So I hope that this video comes out to be of some help for some of you guys. In case if it does, please do not forget to share it with your friends and acquaintances. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, comment on it if there's something that you did not like, or if there's something that you don't agree with me, right? And I'll see you guys again in the next one. Until then, stay safe, ride safe, and God bless you all, my dear friends. Have a good time, have a good weekend. Bye bye.